Hi, Wendy. This is Wendy Caldwell, another one of our modern dance primitive light choreographers. Thank you for taking a moment to talk to me about your work. Wendy, I would love to know, how did you become a choreographer?
Well, I think I was probably always a choreographer, but I didn't always have dancers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, anytime I would listen to music, and I can remember this back even before I started dancing, really, I would always be working things out in my head, and I'm very driven by music, so I think that was a big part of it, and just what I hear, that's what inspires me. And so when I hear a song I like, or a song I think I could dance to, then it kind of already starts working. And then I just kind of, when I came with Circle and I did a piece, my first piece was last spring, and that was really just, they did an open call for choreographers, and I was like, I want to choreograph. And so they said, okay, and
Great.
I did. So.
And had you choreographed before that show with Circle last year?
No, not anything that had been before. I mean, just, on my own, I do things, but in terms of anything for a show, no, I hadn't. So that was my first time. Okay,
great. Well, I'm glad you're back. And I'd love to hear a little bit about your piece for Modern Dance Primitive Light, but I just recently found out that you are an amazing math whiz, and I've noticed that your piece is very count specific, but I bet there's other relationships between math and dance that you maybe could say a little bit about how that is for you.
Yeah, so I think really it is count specific, and that is sometimes intentional and sometimes it just happens, but I think really it speaks more to the kind of music that speaks to me.
Yep.
Because that's really what, it's the piece of music I heard, and I said I have to do something to this piece of music. And I think the music that really speaks to me is the music that is, kind of very specific and easy to count. Sometimes I choreograph and I give the counts that I choreograph. Sometimes I assume people know them because that's what math people do.
Yep.
So we assume everybody does what we do. So, but I definitely go on the music, and I think that the music is definitely, with the math part of me, it's probably goes into what music speaks to me. My parents both have music backgrounds too.
Okay.
So that, I guess, helps. And they're very interrelated.
For sure. And that would probably, if your parents are musicians, that might even explain how you got into math and why you're so good at math.
Right. So there's this book by Hofstadter that won a Pulitzer that's called Gödel, Escher, Bach. And it actually goes over the relationship between mathematics and music and art. And so if you're familiar with Escher's work, and it has kind of like that infinite staircase kind of appeal.
Yep.
And so that, and then Kurt Gödel is a number theorist who, has a number theory that kind of relates to zero, which zero was a very weird thing for math for a long time. They didn't really know how to handle it. And then, of course, Bach, we all know Bach the composer. And so they're definitely interrelated. There's definitely similarities between them.
Yeah, great. And for those of you who are watching, you'll see that there's some interesting stuff going on in the background, that even though Wendy is a very serious mathematician, she's also got a great sense of humor, and her piece has some of the funniest moments of the whole show. So I'm excited to see the final piece in the show, and we look forward to having you back, Wendy. So thanks a lot for taking this time.
Thank you.